A recently divorced woman, still fuming over her contentious divorce settlement, strolled along a windswept beach. The sun was setting, casting a soft orange glow across the water. But it was hard for her to focus on the beauty around her. Her mind was consumed with the bitterness of the divorce. How unfair the settlement had been, how little she had received compared to her ex-husband's fortune. She could hardly believe how badly she had been treated. Lost in her thoughts, she suddenly spotted something odd washing up on the shore. It looked like a lamp, a shiny brass lamp. Curious and still in a haze of frustration, she picked it up. A quick rub to clean the sand from its surface. And to her utter astonishment, a thick cloud of smoke erupted from the lamp, swirling around her. Before she could react, a booming voice filled the air.
I am the genie of the lamp. I have been trapped for centuries, but now I am free, and I will grant you 3 wishes, mortal. The woman blinked, her anger momentarily forgotten.
The genie, noticing the storm cloud over her head, raised an eyebrow. You seem upset, madam. Do tell me your troubles. Her face flushed as she unleashed everything that had been building up since the divorce. She ranted about her ex-husband, how he had gotten all of their shared assets, the house, the cars, and left her with next to nothing.
It's just not fair. I was with him for years, and now he's the one who walks away richer. How could he be so heartless?
The genie listened patiently, nodding sympathetically. When she was finished, he gave a heavy sigh and said, I understand your pain. However, there is one rule I must tell you before we proceed. Because I do not believe in divorce, I will grant your wishes, but your ex-husband will receive 10 times whatever you wish for. Think carefully. She clenched her fists. The thought of her ex-husband thriving while she suffered irked her even more. But she knew the genie's power was her only chance for retribution. After a moment of fuming, she made her first wish. I wish for $1 billion, she declared, her eyes glinting with a hint of satisfaction. The genie nodded, and in an instant, the sand around her erupted into a mountain of $1 bills, each one stacked high. The woman stood in the midst of the cash, her heart racing. But before she could fully revel in her new fortune, the genie pointed toward the horizon. Her ex-husband's laughter echoed through the wind as the woman saw not just 1, but 10 massive piles of cash stretching across the beach, each worth $10 billion. 10 billion, the genie intoned. Your ex-husband now has 10 times what you wished for. The woman's face flushed with a mixture of rage and disbelief, but she wasn't about to let this stop her. Fine, she muttered through clenched teeth. I'll make my next wish even bigger. I wish for a beautiful mansion on my own private beach, she said, her voice dripping with determination. The genie snapped his fingers, and just like that, a majestic mansion appeared, sitting proudly on the shoreline, its windows glistening in the fading light of day. The woman smiled, imagining herself living in luxury, but once again the genie reminded her of the rule. Looking down the beach, she saw 10 identical mansions, each one grander than the next. Your ex-husband now owns 10 of these, the genie said, nodding solemnly. The woman stared at the mansions, a deep sense of frustration rising in her chest. She was beginning to wonder if she'd made a grave mistake in making her wishes, but she wasn't ready to back down now. She stood silent for a long time, staring at the horizon. The genie, hovering beside her, waited patiently. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the woman turned to him with a wicked grin spreading across her face. I'm ready for my last wish, she said, her voice confident. The genie gave her a final warning. Remember, whatever you wish for, your ex-husband will receive 10 times over. Be wise. The woman nodded and, with a mischievous glint in her eye, made her wish. I want to give birth to twins. Thank you so much for watching. If I brought a smile to your face today, I'd love for you to consider subscribing to the channel. Your support means a lot, and it helps me bring more fun and smiles your way. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update. See you next time.